Good morning. How are you? Saturday. Wow. I didn't do a video yesterday. I just got beat up really bad physically. Um, I never got Lucy's, what do you call it, done? Spa treatment done. The lady wasn't there, and I ended up walking all around and just destroyed my legs and my back and my body and my head and everything else. So, and I was up very early for that too. So, anyhow, there's a couple of stories out there today that are interesting. Um, they're both bad, okay? Hegseth is calling on the Allies to get involved in the Straits of Hormuz more. And the problem I think that they're having, and I would have the same problem, is that they want, that Trump and Pete Hegseth want control over those militaries so that they can get them to do what they want them to do. You know, and Trump can look good to the American people because he's no longer risking American lives. So, if you're a complete idiot, you let Hegseth take control of your military. And they're not. None of these guys overseas are idiots. They've been in wars. They've been in battles. They know what's going on. Hegseth is, still trying to figure out how to beat somebody at chess, which is a relatively harmless game unless you play it with real people. All right? So that's, kind of a dumb thing. And what was the other story from yesterday? This one's from yesterday. Oh, I'm still pissed off about the Meta laying off 8,000 people, or 10% of its workforce, because of they're investing more in AI. I don't like dealing with machines, okay? I do my own thinking. I enjoy it. I do my own reading. I enjoy that. I watch television, which is probably, when it was real, I enjoyed it. I don't enjoy it so much anymore because I'm not sure it's real anymore. When I say real, I mean live actors or real people doing it, and the scripts are written by real people, and then I can admire these people, for their geniuses, And now you just say, well, that's some fucking dumb machine that wrote that, And it thought it was funny. And I'm supposed to think it's funny because it thought it's funny, and it's a genius. Ay, 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 ay. The other thing I talked about the other day is that Americans, the poll is taken, and Americans are extremely unhappy. We discussed this yesterday. And look around yourself. I mean, there's a lot to be unhappy about. You got wars going on all over the place. You don't know. You've got soldiers in the streets. We have that. I had that when I moved down here, and it's happened a couple of times since I moved down here. But it's like I got used to it. It's not a big deal. But it's a bigger deal in the United States because these guys are active. They're doing things. They're pulling people over. They're throwing them on the street and handcuffing them and stuff. And that's just makes you feel unsafe. And when you feel unsafe, you're not happy. Okay? Unless you're very rich, and then you're very happy because the peasants are getting beaten up again. But the last time that happened was in the French Revolution. Okay? And we all know what happened to those people. Okay? So, there's another point I'll bring up later on, but revolving around that too. So, but the interesting point is they're richer than they've ever been, Americans. They're unhappier than they've ever been, and they're richer than they've ever been. Now, what's that tell you? That tells you that, was that a proverb or something that said money can't buy happiness, or whoever said that was spot on. you know, because if you've got more money than you had 5 years ago, but you're more unhappy than you were 5 years ago, there's a problem there, don't you think? Money's not helping you. Lack of money can depress the shit out of you. Yes, I agree with you, you know. But money is still an issue, and it's a complicated one, apparently. All right, I don't have it, so I don't worry about it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. But that was it from yesterday. And then I started out with the Allies are being asked to contribute more by Pete Hegseth. Trump has done it already too, but Pete Hegseth wants command of those troops. He wants them under the American umbrella because this is an American operation. But going along with that, May 1st, it becomes an illegal operation due to a law that was written after the Vietnam War that unapproved wars or unsanctioned wars cannot go on for more than 60 days without facing congressional approval or hearings. So, we'll see what Trump does about that. We know he won't do anything about that because he can ignore that under his immunity. Nobody else in the military or anything can ignore that, but he can because he has that full immunity gig. The justices are going to regret doing that someday, and I hope I'm alive to watch them just jaws drop and bounce off the ground as something really horrendous happens to them and they can't do anything about it because Trump has the immunity clause, you know? And that really fried his brain. Seriously, that has fried his brain, you know, that I can do anything I want, and when somebody says no, that's a big problem, you know. Just freaks him the hell out. Now, there was an article yesterday about the Department of Justice wanting to bring back firing squads. Now it's Trump's administration wants to bring back the firing squad. There are a couple of states, if I'm not mistaken, I think Utah was one of them, I'm not sure if I'm right or not, where you, as a man condemned to death when it came time for the execution, after the appeals and everything were done, you could choose one of three, I think they gave you three choices. They gave you the electric chair, chemical induced death, or the firing squad. Heck, one guy chose the firing squad, hoping the odds are that they say that, you know, hopefully they'll miss. But there is a guy that's supposed to walk up and when you're laying on the ground and shoot you in the head. So I hope you understand that's how firing squads are supposed to work. I don't know whether they do or not. I still think firing squads are required in the military under treason or desertion. I think you can be executed by firing squad for desertion. And it's usually your own men that have to do it too. So that sucks big time, right? But that's a cool thing to think about. Because Trump's going to get charged with treason at some point in time, and he's going to be facing the death penalty. And he won't live long enough because you got like 10 or 15 years of appeals after that, you know. I don't know whether the military does away with all of those appeal things and everything like that, but, you know, civilian courts have them. Trump is a despot. He'll want to use the firing squads at his own discretion. You know, he can send somebody to the firing squad or something like that. You know, that's just Donald. Way out of his friggin' league. Way out of his friggin' mind. But that's the way he does things, folks. Tehran is, today's headline is that the U.S. blockade is squeezing Iran, but Tehran bets Trump blinks first. And I think it's quite possible because the Iranians and the people in that part of the world are used to doing without, but Americans aren't used to doing without and aren't used to paying outrageous prices for stuff if they actually want it, you know. Well, they are to a certain degree, but you know they're not going to be happy about it. Uh, it's just I don't understand that whole situation. My biggest problem over that part of the world is the deal going on between Israel and Hezbollah and whatnot, and that they wanted to actually commit genocide in the Gaza and kill every, what was it, Hezbollah or something, I forget the group that was in there. They're still around, but wanted to kill every last one of them, you know, and that's just really, really, really dumb shit, you know, but they wanted to do it. What can I say? You know, I just hang around. Yeah, see, these are headlines that you get from Occupy Democrats. Trump's NATO scandal just exposed by Spain. I like the guy that's doing it, but I don't trust it because you go look it up and you can't find it anywhere else except there. And I got to tell you something. They're just not that cool, you know? What the hell is that about? Oh, we'll come back for that. Um, what's this? Oh, me. See, this is how Hegseth urges the Allies to take larger role in the Straits of Hormuz. The time for free riding is over. They're not free riding, they're paying a price because they're not getting anything out of there. They're not getting their oil because the United States is blocking it, you know. Uh, if you put enough people over there from other countries, they'll get tired of it and they'll start uh, going around the blockade just like everybody else. And the blockade will be useless. The more people involved in that blockade, the less effective it's going to be. That's just something you have to look at, you know. Did you remember, what was it, 2025, I think it was, when Trump offered this gold card visa? Uh, is it not the Visa card, the actual visa to come to the United States? You put $1 million up and you could come to the United States and you'd get all these perks and everything going. So in a little over a year, one card has been applied for and granted, and they say there's hundreds of people standing in line for that, but I don't see that. Not if you only got issued one card in that period of time. So that's another one of Trump's great ideas that's sitting in the toilet right now. You know, that's his whole. People aren't willing to pay $1 million to come to the United States anymore. There was a point in time that you might have been able to get $1 million out of some people, but the people that really truly want to and need to come to the United States can't afford $1 million. If they had $1 million, they wouldn't want to leave where they are, you know. But Donald's so stupid; he doesn't understand any of that. Okay, this video is now done. All right, so you guys, when you go to your computer to sign out or sign up, hit the sign up button. All right, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to me. All right, it shouldn't. but it doesn't. So don't worry about it. It's not even a bunch of garbage that comes out your way. All right, you might get a notice or so every once in a while from YouTube. If I go live, you'll know I'm on the air. That's how I find out I'm on the air. Uh, but that's it. I get notices now once, but I set myself up to receive notices from the people that are on my subscription list, but I when I'm not on YouTube. So you know, I like that. In the meantime, I won't be here tomorrow. It's Saturday. I'm taking the day off, and we're gonna have some interruptions next week too, because Lucy's appointment for the spa now is Tuesday, so we'll work that out. But that's it for now. You know. Uh, Enjoy your Sunday. I have family coming today, so tomorrow I'll have nothing to do and I should be able to enjoy it. But something will happen to screw it up. In the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you on Monday.